I would not be afraid of running double weapon power.
Yeah, especially because double weapon power is pretty strong right now because of how effective you can be with a Pierce. Put a Bonesaw on the Krull. All of a sudden, you're taking away armor from a target, and Baron jumps in. Those 700 damage shots that Pundor was doing are now going to become 800 or 900 damage shots. So it's not something that they have to shy away from, but they're going to put priority on the Lance instead. This makes sense for G2 because, again, it is a heavy comfort pick for both Keanu and Dark Potato. They can both play it, they can flex it, and now maybe they're just challenging Qlash and saying, hey, do you play Baron? Because if they don't, all of a sudden we could have Krull, Lance, and Baron and comfort picks across the board.
G2's draft has been very smart so far, especially with that last pick, because it doesn't show the Baron yet. Had Qlash not picked it up, they probably would have picked it last after they had forced Qlash to do something different. Last draft, Baron was picked after Kestrel was seen. So G2 are only picking Baron when they're guaranteed to go up against a composition that doesn't have any dive. They're doing it very smartly here. And now that Baron has been picked up on Qlash side, I'm expecting G2 to pick up a laner that can dive very well and play with the Krull and just try to go in very effectively. The Petal pick is going to make it very hard to do that though.
So in 2.8 and previous updates, Petal was the hard counter to Krull. That is no longer the case. Frostburn does not work on her minions anymore. You can't just sit there and constantly slow the Krull down. So I don't really like the Petal pick here as a CP carry. Celeste is the option that G2 goes for. We know Hundor is also great on the Celeste. It's going to be a difficult match, though, because Celeste and Baron, I think the edge still goes to Baron because he is a little bit stronger, a little bit earlier. But it's going to be really interesting to see how this jungle matchup happens.
I do disagree a little bit there. I think Celeste becomes stronger earlier once she hits level 8, while Baron has to wait for his level 12. At the same time, Celeste is a great pick also into Petal. G2's draft is a lot stronger here, especially since they have the Krull that can play aggressive and can dive later on, like I've been saying. They just have to utilize the fact that once Celeste becomes level 8, Siege turrets get the turrets and push it. Baron by no means is broken. He just works well against certain compositions. And I think G2 actually has a good composition against Baron.
All right, we'll see if that's going to be enough for them to turn this into a 2-0. Obviously, also got that kind of triple CC going on for G2 as well. We'll see whether that's going to work for them. Let's talk a little bit about this Celeste pick. We've seen it once so far on 2.9. We saw one build coming out. Are we expecting that to be the standard build, or could this go in multiple directions?
There's definitely multiple directions you can go. You build towards your play style. And so if you want to just have a ton of damage, you go for that Shadow Glass, you go for the Dragon's Eye, you go for the Broken Myth. If you want to be a little bit more utility focused, you could potentially go for the Spellfire, although I don't really see that being a pick in this game, not on Hundor's hands.
Yeah, no, not really. Clockwork is a very important item, and Dragon's Eye, if mages don't pick that up, they're not going to be very effective in long-lasting teamfights.
All right, we'll see whether they do go for the Dragon's Eye coming on into this one. It's time to jump into the game, though. Hashtag Vainglory 8. Let us know whether you want Qlash to even up the series or if you think G2 are going to 2-0. It's time to pass it once again back to my English compadres in Medic and Ex-Scoundrel.
Thank you very much, Munch. We are going to get into what could be the final game of the EU day, and it's Qlash taking the Baron off Hundor, and that's always an exciting prospect, a vital thing to do if you want to beat G2. We've seen how strong Hundor can be on that hero. We'll have to see if Hell's Devil can match up against him, Ex-Scoundrel.
Yeah, again, they're kind of using the G2's card against them. I reflect what Iraqi said. You know, Hundor by no means is overpowered, but into a double squishy composition like that, you actually saw how little damage he was doing against Lance for the most part. But against, you know, two carries that are unlikely to build huge amounts of armor, they don't have a huge amount of health built into their kit either, he is very, very strong. I think this time round, you know, G2 have got more of an aggressive composition to play into the Baron specifically. You're going to have Keanu Nakoa on the Captain Krull, so Dark Potato playing his Weapon Power Lance and Keanu Nakoa playing the Captain Krull here. So all about just trying to get that stun off, trying to look for those engages, but have to be careful as G2 are on the back foot already here.
Yeah, that's super interesting. Keanu actually started up the Treant for himself, and we're going to see the first blood go across. Hundor has died. Agony getting killed there, and now they're chased onto Dark Potato as well. Agony will get it double early on this Petal. Perhaps I cursed it by saying this might be the last game of the day, because Qlash have come out to party here against G2.
And they're going to just basically commit their entire unit to taking these back camps here away from G2. Very interesting that G2 have tried to go for that. I understand Dark Potato loves his Weapon Power Lance. It's one of his specialities. But, you know, Keanu now is in a strange situation where he's not going to really be doing much until level 6. He's not really going to have a massive impact until later in the game. I guess his prime directive is literally sit on Baron, apply weakness stacks to him, and then just try and allow Hundor to do the rest of the magic. But I think it's a very, very difficult game plan to execute on. And oh, whoa, as I say that,
Yeah, it worked out. Dark Potato there as well. They got the core collapse down and they were able to get the stun. That's exactly what G2 wanted. Keanu, the whole starting off of this game was very odd because Keanu started the Elder Treant by himself. Disowned actually has stepped way too far forward here as well, and Hundor and Keanu will be able to chase him down with the Spectral Smite, and straight away G2 are back in this game. They've equalized the scoreline and they've got themselves some gold in their pockets as well.
That Potato is going to finish off this Treant and get his back camp rolling, working towards a tension blow. And Keanu, now that he's level 2, has got a bit more to his kit, can do a little bit more with those weakness stacks. Something that's fun about Cruel is that it doesn't necessarily need weapon power to be good. A lot of Cruel's damage comes from the ability to build those stacks up and get a massive smite, which just comes from strictly the base damage that it provides. So Cruel in the mid game can thrive off his base damages. This kind of adds Keanu as a separate threat. Oh, the steal! Dark Potato gets the steal!
That was so good. We've seen 2 steals. Qlash was able to take it away earlier on. Keanu is actually going to get straight onto Agony. He's already trampoline forward here, uses the healing flask, and Keanu looking for that Spectral Smite, can't quite get enough damage, and now here's Hell's Devil to join the party. Keanu locked up, and Agony will be looking to secure this kill, although Keanu is on the run. Agony jumps forward once again. Ends up being a kill-for-kill trade as Hundor joins the fray. Hell's Devil trying to jump away, but caught up with the core collapse. Dark Potato off towards the side as Hundor keeps the chase going. The Helios comes out. It's a double for him. Disowned will be able to escape, and it ends up not quite being that triple for Hundor, but he is in a very good spot now on this Celeste.
Yeah, he actually, when Baron fell out of favor, Hundor obviously sort of started to expand that hero pool that he had, and obviously he played a great Vox during the Baronet meta when it was getting banned all the time. When the CP Mage lane meta, during update 2.7, 2.8, Hundor has an incredible Celeste. You're seeing it already start to show its face here. Tension Bow gets picked up. They get another kill. Suddenly G2 steady the ship here, Medic, and already looking explosive.
They kind of accelerated the ship away as Agony jumps in once again. There we are, 6 kills to 3. Keanu Nakoa now 2-1-3 on this Cruel. He'll be very happy with that. Getting up towards that level 6 as quickly as possible, although still only level 3. Core Collapse lands onto Hell's Devil. The Githium another kill. What is this? It's like Blitz or something. G2 just unrelenting with their pressure.
Hundor, by the way, Celeste confirmed Siren because he just baited and outsmarted the Petal there, drew him in, used the healing flask, and then obviously just destroyed him after. But it's a symphony to watch this coordination between Dark Potato and Hundor. The Githian walls, the impales, the sort of setups of these supernovas. It is an absolute orchestra of Vainglory, and you can see that G2 are well in the conductor's spot. They are very much back firmly in the lead here.
Both teams mirroring each other's items as well, though. You've got the Tension Bow finished on Hell's Devil. Dark Potato has a Tension Bow of its own. Agony has a Shatter Glass. Hundor has a Shatter Glass. However, G2 are slightly ahead in terms of their next item as well, already completing energy batteries and such on the side of G2. They're going to chase Qlash back once again, not quite able to get the connection with the kill, but 2 level 6 carries does give them the opportunity to go for a more aggressive play. Keanu snuck into this top bush, Disowned finds him, but Dark Potato is there to try and chase onto the Catherine. Githian wall stunned, Core Collapse dodged out, Disowned tries to use the health blast but can't get enough healing from it, and Agony jumps in a little bit too late, trampolining on the corpse of his teammate, trying to join that fight.
And again, Hundor going straight for Shatterglass. And do you know what I like about Shatterglass over Dragon's Eye? Whoa, okay, goodbye. Hell's Devil kisses the dirt as he again falls to the floor, and again Agony on the back foot. You know what I like about Shatterglass over Dragon's Eye is that, you get the immediate impact from Shatterglass. You get 70 CP over Dragon's Eye, and you get an immediate impact with the first supernova that you hit. And often, especially against these squishier targets, Medic, the first supernova that you hit is likely going to be one of the more impactful ones. So I much prefer going Shatterglass over Dragon's Eye on Celeste specifically, because you're just looking for the straight up burst damage. The straight burst damage from range with that first supernova.
And the first turret to fall. 6 minutes into this game already, a 2,500 gold lead, and people say EU is slow. Well, we've got 12 kills, only 6 minutes in. That's 2 kills a minute, guys. It's much more value for your money than usual in Europe. And now we'll see G2 group up once again towards the lane. And let's see if they can catch out Disowned or Hell's Devil. A good chunk from Dark Potato with that tension bow. Hundor building up towards what appears to be a Clockwork second item as well on this Celeste.
That's a funny looking clockwork, mate.
Oh, so it is. It's been a while, okay? It's been a while.
Do you know, I can forgive you this transgression, my friend. I can forgive you. But I
have
think
analysts and play-by-play casters, right? Because
It
I do the shouty stuff, and
Yeah.
you do the item builds. So Eve of Harvest, Excalibur, talk to me about Eve on Celeste.
pretty staple for Celeste these days. Often provides with a little of energy regen. Oh, goodbye.
Now, Iron Cannon is going to come down, and Dark Potato will take a chunk of damage. So will Hundor. They do manage to get one kill, of course, onto Agony. Keanu gets that one for himself. Actually has the most kills on his team alongside Hundor at 4-1-4. Dark Potato is going to chase onto Disowned. Keanu's still not level 6, doesn't have the From Hell's Heart, but that's not stopping him securing these kills. Dark Potato jumps in towards Hell's Devil, who jumps away. The stun lands. So did the Porcupine Mortars. Dark Potato with the Impale will land, and they're just getting more chunks down on towards this turret. Down to under half HP. As G2's pressure continues forward. Here comes the Solar Storm. Hell's Devil blocks it out. Disown coming in from the side. A kill for Agony as Qlash try and answer back with damage of their own. Agony chasing onto Hundo. Keanu there. But the Helios are landing one by one. And there was the fountain use as well at the end by Disowned.
Oh, Hundor almost caught out there. Keanu uses that block. He actually moves back as well. Still not level 6. Very close to level 6 as Agony jumps over the wall there. Have to be careful because Keanu will have From Hell's Heart in a matter of, well, you feel like it's going to be moments. It could actually be about a minute depending on how much experience he gets here as Dark Potato makes his way back.
G2 are okay just defending under this turret. Basically no chip damage even on that turret yet. So
Yeah.
they are in such a strong position. 2,000 gold ahead. Dark Potato even rolls straight into the face of Agony and Disowned. Very comfortable continuing to pressure. And now, Excoundrel, we see a chronograph on Hundor.
Oh,
The
there's...
possibility. I'm just a prophet, mate. That's what I've realized. Right? I'm actually I'm next level in prediction. People just don't realize that time is a construct. You know, you can't. It's all a circle, and eventually your predictions will become true. So that's how it works.
So what you're saying is that you just temporarily got a flash of the screen that was about 2 minutes into the future.
Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
Yeah, do you know what, Medic? I won't even contest that because it's so implausible. It's likely to be true.
That it is. G2 starting up the gold miner here. Keanu is 6 now. Has the From Hell's Heart. Has that ultimate available. Disowned. Gonna get the stun down, but with the gold miner not yet below half, we'll have to see if Qlash actually want to fight this one. They are only 1,000 gold behind. Hell's Devil has a tension bow and a solar blade. If he can get a crit or some damage down onto Hundor, he can definitely catch him out, and they jump straight in. The Iron Cannon's going to come down as well, but look at the damage. The Githian Wall knocks them back. There's the Solar Storm onto Disowned, as well as Dark Potato looks to try and close out these kills. G2 on a rampage on the warpath, and Dark Potato rolls straight towards his next kill. The gold miner will go down as well as Agony tries to jump off towards the side. Helio after Helio, an ace for G2, 10 minutes in, 13 kills to 4. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for G2.
I don't know if you've noticed, Medic, but the Achilles heel to this entire composition from Qlash is this Celeste. Post level 8, you outrate. Oh, goodbye, Hell's Devil, you are just dead. Another beautiful 1-2 combination from G2. But Hundor, classically, CP Petal has always been beaten by Celeste and Scarf because you have the range advantage. Petal is very squishy. You can burst her, you can chunk through those munions very quickly as well, which are the main source of her damage. And against Baron, post level 8, you have a range advantage over him as well. So if you can spam those Heliogenesis from range, especially now that you're going to be picking up the Clockwork for Hundor, you kind of almost shoot this Qlash composition right in that Achilles heel because they can't really do anything to contest that. They don't really have an incredible engage. They've got the Catherine Merciless Pursuit, but it's so telegraphed, it's very hard to actually make an engage happen. So it's just a difficult position for Qlash to be in because right now, if Hundor's playing well, he single-handedly deconstructs this composition from Qlash.
And Hundor is playing well. We saw his Baron in game 1, and now his Celeste is doing a superb amount of work. 4, 1, and 10 being involved in every single kill for G2. Agony does have a Dragon's Eye now, so that Petal damage will start to accelerate. The longer the fight goes on, the more stacks you get up on that. 20 CP per stack, remember, so that's exactly what Agony will be trying to build. Speaking of stacks, Disowned has 23 of his own on that heroic perk on the Catherine. It's pretty good going for the time being, but that is not good going at all for Qlash. The stun lands after the Solar Storm has absolutely decimated his team. It's a double for Hundor, and just when I doubted them, G2 come up big once again.
G2 are going to be taking the gold miner here. They're very close to finishing the game as my puppy runs into the room and bites my hand. Hello, Casper. I love you. And I just felt a nibbling at the bottom of my hand, just hanging off the chair, and my not even 8-week-old puppy, he's 8 weeks tomorrow, just came and nibbled my hand. Completely put me off topic. Anyway, G2 get the gold mine medic, and we're back on track.
Well, he's been alive longer than the hopes of Qlash in this game, because they died a long time ago. 0-7-2 on Hell's Devon. Baron not working out for him anywhere near as well as it did for Hundor, and it shows you can't just pick the Baron. You have to know how to pilot the Baron, and Hundor is the king of piloting that particular hero. Now we have an Echo completed onto Keanu. He's been looking for those double from Hell's Hearts. Been incredibly effective on this Krull roam position, something we don't commonly see, and now looking for the engage perhaps onto Agony, a good double impale. Look at the damage onto Agony, disowned in that front line as well. The Solar Storm comes out and Agony is running for the hills, trying to wheel his way away, but you cannot escape from G2. The party is joining you in your jungle. That's another kill for G2, 19 kills to 4 up. A Crystal Sentry will fall. He's going to be not quite eliminated, still 1 life remaining. Perhaps that's indicative of Qlash's position in this game. They're not quite down and out, but they are reeling from the punches that G2 keep landing.
I think we've really touched on the major points of this game, Medic. We talked about the fact that Hundor really is that Achilles heel of this composition from Qlash. I think we should really talk about what this means for G2 as a Vainglory team. The kind of style of this win and what is up for grabs for them in the next few weeks, because there is one EU world spot on the line, and G2 are the best poised to threaten SK for that top position. It will be tough, but G2 could actually take that position from SK and go to Worlds, and playing like this, they look incredible, Medic.
That they do. They're in such a strong spot, especially when Hundor gets ahead. He just looks absolutely devastating. A bit of inventiveness from them in the draft, taking the Krull into the roam position instead of playing him in that usual jungle role, and now they can continue just to push forward into the faces of Qlash. Of course, Qlash fighting to try and get away from the challenge battles. They want to be able to take a few wins here and there and force other teams below them so they don't have to fight at the end of the split. But at the moment, it's looking like this is not the week for them. G2 closing out the game slowly here, completing the kill on that Crystal Sentry if they can. Hundor just continues to get their Helios into the Supernovas across the wall, and they will continue just base into Hell's Devil. If the Wall doesn't land onto Disowned, eventually the Sentry is eliminated. There's the Solar Storm, but it's not enough to kill Hell's Devil. The Impale doesn't connect either, but the Fountain is used from Qlash, and now G2 can push in with this minion wave and look to take down that final turret outside of the Crystal Turrets for Qlash. Great damage, and the from Hell's Heart landing. The boomerang is the final shot that was needed, and G2 continue to push forward. Solar Storm is almost back up, only 6 seconds left on that, 2 now because of the clockwork, but it's an ace in front of the base of Qlash, and G2 should be able to close out the game from here. 2 crystal turrets will fall basically simultaneously, and the Vein Crystal will not be long for the Halcyon Fold. G2 with a 2-0 victory over Qlash.
That was just a deconstruction by G2 in that game, a pure masterclass on how to play a Celeste into a composition where she thrives. Dark Potato and Hundor, I can't count the amount of times that they so crisply set up Githian Wall Impale Core Collapse into Supernova combos. It happened numerous times in very awkward positions on the map as well. You can see that these are some of the best heroes that Dark Potato and Hundor can play, and it was, like I said, a symphony.